And then we also have Merab versus Corey. Now, I fucking love Corey. How could you not? But him up against Merab? I don't know, man. I don't think he has the skill to do it. I don't think he can take Merab out. And I don't think there's anyone in the top 10 at least who can take out Merab. He's going to be sitting on that throne for quite a while until someone like maybe Vinicius Oliveira climbs up those ranks, which I imagine won't take much longer because he is zooming through the bantamweight division. Or, and this is a big or, we've got Bryce Mitchell. I know it's crazy to say, okay, but he's talking a big game, dude. He said he used to train with Merab. He knows Merab. And we all know Bryce Mitchell is a featherweight, and he's known for being a featherweight his whole career, his whole UFC career. But he's moving down to bantamweight for this upcoming fight against Said Nurmagomedov.
They need something exciting right now. Because let's be honest, nobody's going to beat Merab. You're going to have to call somebody that can beat him. Here I am. Call me. I always pick up the phone. I always say yes.
Now, Bryce has had bantamweight fights in the past, and he won them all. But they were amateur bouts outside of the UFC, so it doesn't really reflect anything. We've only ever seen Bryce fight at featherweight in the UFC, and until his loss to Ilia Topuria, he was on an undefeated UFC win streak of 6 wins. Since that knockout, he has had a win over Dan Ige, he had a loss to Josh Emmett, and then he had a win over Kron Gracie, and then a loss to Jean Silva. Kind of a similar trajectory to what Dustin Poirier did, in terms of just simply not having 2 losses in a row. So maybe him moving down to bantamweight will help progress his career a little bit. When you look at Bryce Mitchell at featherweight, he is a kind of a small featherweight. So bring him down to bantamweight, maybe he'll do fucking phenomenal. And maybe he actually can give Merab a run for his money. And we mentioned Vinicius before, and actually Said is coming off a loss against Vinicius. They just fought recently. We saw what Bryce did to Kron Gracie. Do you think he's capable of doing the same thing to Nurmagomedov as well? Imagine having that on your resume. You have a win over a Gracie and a Nurmagomedov. That's cool. I know it's Kron Gracie and it's Said Nurmagomedov. It's not like Khabib and fucking Royce Gracie or something, but still, you got those last names on your resume. It looks pretty good. I gotta be Honest.
Watch this full episode of the Dynamite Gizmo Podcast by clicking the link in bio.